in my life. I got fired from working at Red Robin for doing that. When do we get to bury him in a thing and jerk off on him, though? I'd say I can take on 3 11-year-olds. And he clicks the button, and he's just this woman cussing him the fuck out. This is the weirdest theory I've ever heard in my entire life. In a lot of ways, Big Boy's never left. Anti-pedophile. I agree. He will tell you I'm a bad driver, but there's no evidence for that. I've intuition and I'm deep, and then, dude, people fall for absolute monsters on a regular basis.
Hey, hello. This is this week's episode of Two Hippies, One Drunk. I'm your host this week, Eric Fady. Thanks so much for checking us out. If you have not liked our Facebook page or subscribed to our YouTube channel, we'd really appreciate that because that's a big part in helping this thing keep growing and getting bigger. We do the show a little different than most podcasts, and then we rotate hosting roles between 3 longtime comic friends. My 2 friends out there, Tyler Charles
right
on the right, if you're watching on Facebook or YouTube, and Scott Ryan on the left.
Hello.
And I'm Eric Fady hosting this week. I'm going to get into, I know we usually start off reminding people that they can go win the tarot card, tarot reading or the drawing. I'm going to just say, we all appreciate, our numbers have really been going up. We had our biggest month recently in downloads, and that means a lot to us. So if you're listening for the first time, thanks. And for these people, those who have been listening and coming back, we all really appreciate it. It's growing, and that's awesome. And that's all because of you guys, either sharing or liking things, or subscribing
liking
on our
posts,
page,
liking the art, liking all the shit,
rating us on iTunes, all that stuff.
Exactly. We've got a lot more reviews on iTunes too. I think we have 18 now.
Yeah.
Wow.
And people
okay,
that
awesome.
didn't even shake us down for the tarot reading or the drawing.
Yeah, shake us down for some free stuff.
Down. You want to explain that just real quick?
Yeah, just if you give us 5 stars and review us on iTunes, you can get a free drawing of mine. I'll give you 2 options, or an hour tarot reading from our resident mage, Scott Ryan.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
People have taken us up on it. It's been really cool.
Yep.
Very awesome. So this week, I for anyone that listened last week, I'm not going to really get into what I was going to do, but I kind of changed the topic midweek because I just felt a little stronger about something else. And that is, there has just been, if you're into pop culture at all, which all 3 of us are pretty decently into pop culture. Over the years, there's been quite a bit of celebrities that have, I guess, stepped in it, whatever you want to say, with Halloween costumes, offensive or controversial or whatnot.
Honestly, I want to know, do you what is the mindset behind that?
It's all
well, here's the thing.
The envelope? Yeah.
I'll tell you this on my end, because I'm a little more I don't know. I'm not going to get into the political version of it, but I tend to be, I don't know how to explain it. I don't really care what anyone dresses as. That would be my point. Honestly, I don't really give a fuck what anybody, to me, I don't get offended by, I don't know that you guys do either per se. You're a little more willing to I don't know.
Honestly, I'm for it just to be able to look at it as a spectacle.
But I think you guys maybe don't get offended, but I think you guys take it into account more. To me, honest to God, I mean, I'm not trying to be mean, but I know I'm a white 38 middle class, white man. So I get it. But nothing to me, I don't give a fuck. Now there's a lot of this shit we're going to show. I personally wouldn't wear to a I wouldn't wear it, per se. I would not wear some of this stuff to a costume contest or a costume thing, but I don't give a fuck. I don't really look at it and go, my God.
Yeah, I mean, I would say that's true for the most part. I feel like there's a handful of it. I'm sure you'll get into them, but Nazis, blackface.
See, I will get into that, but I'm telling you, even that to me, I just don't really care, I guess. But I know I'm not Jewish. I wish there was something in my culture, in my personal life, that I would be worthy of being offended by. I wish I had something where I could say I have kind of some Italian in my family, I guess, but not enough to be I'm offended by Italians or making fun of Italians or something.
Yeah.
So I don't have any.
And Italians are white enough. You can shit on. I could say fuck Italians. I hate
no one gives a fuck
right now. Totally.
Yeah.
Nobody cares.
Yeah, no one cares.
Yeah, exactly.
Man, my Homer Simpson costume is kind of hot. Yeah. So anyway, my point is like I don't have a
This is a
baseline.
pro mafia podcast.
Right. Hey, I'm for
Disgusting.
whatever. Anybody that's listening, I'm for the mob. It's fine.
Yeah,
Fine.
yeah, no problem with them. Keep doing
I
what
love
you're
The
doing.
Godfather.
Take our
Even
trash.
3.
Yeah, they are trash people.
I mean,
You're
yeah,
right.
and I mean, I like pizza.
Yeah.
I'll give it like Super Mario.
Yeah.
Right. I did a
mean,
chef. I made a generic. I was doing a joke about hot dogs on stage last night, and I referenced Chef Boyardee. Is that bad? I was like, because I was talking about how some people get really picky about hot dogs, and if you go to baseball games, dude, there are like usher or people that sell hot dogs that will not even carry ketchup. They're like, you only put mustard on a hot dog. So I was kind of like, okay, Chef Boyardee. Like, is that racist? I don't know.
There's a chasm of difference between a Chef Boyardee and an Aunt Jemima reference.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Okay,
You're
okay.
Making that kind of syrup.
I'm in the clear.
Yeah.
So I'm going to get to this because we have 16. I have 16 celebrities that have had, controversial costumes. And we're going to do, for anyone that listened to our one when we did douchebag, the douchebag tournament, we're going to do it just like that. Very much if you've ever watched like the NCAA basketball tournament, it's like that. Bracket style, 16s, 8 on one side, 8 on the other. We'll go down to, and the key is always when we do these is that like we don't do, no one's in a way is a winner because they're all controversial / possibly offensive. We're just picking the most offensive of the two. It doesn't mean that the other person isn't offensive.
Well, I saw some of those names on your list right then. It got me excited.
I did not.
Did you really?
see-
I was shocked you could read that.
Yeah, honestly, that was
Saw
weird.
Chris
My
Brown.
writing is
I know what he
garbage.
I do not know what Chris.
I'm
Brown
gonna
did, but
start-
I'm excited.
I'm going to start over on this side I have. And I'm going to do, what is it? Okay. Yeah. No, it's funny. I think that some of these, I wonder if this is by the way, a product that that celebrities have gotten smarter, or product that they've gotten smarter about hiding their things, or just my age and recognizing things. But some of these names of the celebrities are like callbacks to what I feel like was in my prime of pop culture, which is like, for example, this first round, like Snooki as the kid on the milk crate, milk box. Like, do you remember when they used to
any kind of milk box?
do you remember that? Well, they used to do like missing kids. I'll send it over to you guys. So I'm going to send this over to you guys here.
Okay.
Sorry, I forgot. So, unfortunately, if you're watching, we don't have the greatest situation where I can share it, but
Yeah, we can't share it. But
I'm
we
sending
will
it to them.
describe it as best we
Well,
can.
So
real
it's-
quick, what? Go ahead.
So they're
Yeah,
looking at Snooki on the missing kid on a milk box. It used to be like, oh, if a kid's missing, we'll put their picture on a box. I
Yeah.
mean, to me,
No, that seems very inappropriate to go to a
really,
party.
you
Yeah, a
guys,
little
man.
bit.
Well,
Oh
who
my
is she
goodness.
going up against? Because that's what matters.
Yeah,
to me.
yeah, yeah.
Okay. So she's going up. I'll just send it to you guys, and then I'll describe it after I send it. So who am I doing? Okay. So I think you guys will get this right away because you've kept up with this stuff enough. But if you need questions, I'll send it first, and then I'll describe it. Do you know what that is off the top of your head?
They're yelling about babies.
It's
Yeah,
Spencer
no,
Pratt and Heidi, and they were doing John and Kate +8.
Oh, okay.
So
Yeah.
it's for those listening, it's if you remember Spencer and Heidi Pratt, the from the Hills and whatnot.
Yeah.
They
There
had
was
8
also
children.
a famous reality show, John and Kate +8, that they had the 8 kids, and so
Yeah.
they dressed up as John and Kate, and they have like 8 baby dolls, and they're kind of throwing them
You're
around
like-
a little bit.
Hey, okay.
Yeah, what would you say?
I would say, first of all, what is the criteria for this? Is it the most in bad?
It's just for
taste?
you in your mind. What is more offensive? What is
What is
more
more
offensive? I guess.
Offensive.
Or
Okay.
I'm not controversial, I said, but we're gonna go with offensive
Offensive.
over
Okay,
controversial.
Because here's my thing. Honestly, I think both of these are totally fine.
Right, I know.
I would say, yeah. I mean, they're not they're not really pushing any kind of boundaries other than like, maybe I would say I'd say personally,
I have
a
mine.
missing crate would be more offensive to me personally, just because you have to pick one.
That's gonna really.
It just seems like a bad costume.
And it seems like the sort of thing I was actually thinking I would go with that too, just because if nothing else, like, okay, the John and Kate +8 one, it reminds me almost of like people dress up like a pregnant hillbilly or something.
Right.
Yeah,
And that's totally fine. So I don't see why holding a bunch of babies or whatever.
That's
was
pretty
not
much
that
what
bad
they
to
dressed
me.
up as.
The missing milk crate feels like it's gonna launch a QAnon conspiracy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's sending a message to get out or something.
Yeah.
Well, and
There's
my
something going on.
my thought is, and I'm going to tell you that I'm going to throw in my vote here, and it's going to be Snooki. I am not offended by it at all. But
Yeah.
I would say if you're going to pick one of these ones that is more offensive, I guess technically if someone had ever been in a situation in their lives where they knew someone that lost a kid, but having said it, these ideas that we have all these days that you're supposed to go to a party and just everyone has to worry about everyone's trigger levels. I mean, we're supposed to know every single person in a room has maybe been through something. But if you had to pick one, I would go that because, technically that could trigger somebody. And I don't think John and Kate plus 8, who gives a fuck? No offense.
Sure, but even with that, I agree with you. But really, I mean, you can go to a Halloween store right now and get a mechanical zombie baby.
Right.
If you lost a child, that would probably be more triggering than her milk.
Okay, I get what you're saying. So I get what you're saying. So for a family that maybe has gone through loss and they see these people they have 8 kids or some shit.
I just think it's more offensive because, like you said, it seems like it's giving off. She's trying to give a message.
Yeah,
and the other one's just we're stupid and we're trying to be funny.
Yeah.
It doesn't really feel like that. So yeah, definitely her.
Snooki moves on.
Snooki?
Yeah, Snooki moves on.
Yeah.
I'm gonna kind of bounce around this thing a little bit because I'm trying to in my mind look at names. So this one coming up. I could have picked 100. A few of these, by the way, you could pick 50 of them but you just pick one to represent. And you'll know what I mean when I send it. So I'll send this over here. I'll pick this one. Where we got here. Hillary Duff is a celebrity. I don't know if you remember this or not.
Oh, wow.
I remember this. And then she's taking on, and this one I might have to explain to you guys. You certainly won't, I believe, know by the picture, but I think maybe you'll remember the story. Do you remember Cecil the Lion at all?
Yes, I know the lion, but
then as soon as you tell me, I'm gonna remember.
That was the really rare lion over in Africa, and some dentist in Minnesota paid $10,000 to go hunting.
Yeah.
And so she's not the dentist though. And this is where I think that the line to me draws a distinction, but she's not the dentist. She's the lion. So, and then you have, for people that aren't looking at these pictures, we have Hillary Duff and her boyfriend dressed up as pilgrims and Indians. Now she's the pilgrim, I guess, which is probably the least offensive of the two.
Yeah, that's definitely not offensive.
But she's with an Indian.
Native American.
I'm sure he is not. Let's just say that.
He's too white.
Yeah,
I will not be giving. And here's where I was going with the Indian thing. You could pick 100 celebrities that at one point have dressed up because for a while that was and to this day I think it actually still is. I mean, I am kind of over it for sure, but for a while that was a very popular thing. So I could have picked 100 celebrities, to be honest with you, that have worn an Indian. A lot of a lot of slutty Indians. Not as much guys, but a lot of slutty Indians. So we got Hillary Duff.
That's a cancelable offense nowadays. Though.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure. So I'm going to go with, Hillary Duff, though, we're going to count her boyfriend as part of the duo because he's a Native American and she's a pilgrim. Yep. And then you have, what's the celebrity? Ashley Breeson. Yeah, or something. She was from Pretty Little Liars. Okay. And she dressed up as Cecil the Lion. And that's the thing, though. To me, the distinction, it's not the dentist. It's the lion. Yeah.
So it's the lion that got killed.
Right, Prince, to me.
That would be such a weird costume to be I'm going to dress up as the lion-killing dentist.
Yeah.
That was a thing, though. People didn't do it.
Dentist. I'm not going to be you're that specific dentist.
No, I mean, you have him, you attach a lion.
Oh, you have a lion mane around his back and covered in blood.
One year I went as, remember Billy Mays from OxyClean?
Yes.
I went as Billy Mays one time, and all I did is khaki pants, blue shirt with an OxyClean, but then I had a little bag of white powder for representing cocaine because he was a big coke addict, and I think he died of a heart attack.
Post-death.
Oh, post-death.
Okay. Fair enough.
Would it be worse if it was pre-death?
Yeah, no, it'd be worse if it's post-death.
We got one of those coming, by the way. So we got a post-death thing coming in this tournament. So not me, but it's somebody.
Yeah, Billy from OxyClean. Nobody's defending him. Nobody.
Yeah. Right. I think it's okay. I mean, having said that, OxyClean worked. If anyone ever tried it out, that was good shit.
Are determined
cocaine
to be,
as well.
If you're determined to
both
be a
work.
piece of shit in life, you can do shitty costumes about you. just parade your corpse around.
Well, the thing is, I don't think Billy Mays was a shitty person. Honestly,
Yeah.
I think he seemed like a pretty decent guy. If everyone that did cocaine was a shitty person,
Yeah, that's
boy,
fair. That's fair.
got three right here. You know what I'm saying?
Who does cocaine a lot is a shitty.
Yeah, it
person.
is a shitty.
No,
You
I
do
know.
it all the time.
I know what you mean. We just don't know. I just don't
You kinda
remember
have
his
to
extent.
be, right?
I don't remember the extent that he was doing it though. So I just not gonna get. I just don't remember. So anyway, we're at Hillary Duff, and like I said, I'm going with the duo. So I don't know what your guys' thought on the Native American. I know it's easy to say it's a cancelable offense. Like I was saying, me and Scott were talking. I'm just not someone who gets offended. I understand, and like I wouldn't wear it anymore. For example, like I said, there's a lot of these things I wouldn't wear. I just don't really care if I was at a party. If I was at a party, I wouldn't be like, "What a oh my, I'm leaving."
Yeah.
But I wouldn't wear it personally anymore.
Okay.
That's obviously done.
Okay, here's the thing. I am a quarter Native American for whatever
Okay.
that's worth, which I think it's above the line where you're allowed, like right on the line where you're allowed to have some sort of opinion.
Enough though, not enough that you would still have to explain to people though. If you were at a party,
Yeah.
you'd have to
Yeah,
say quarter
guaranteed.
Native American because you don't look. No offense, I wouldn't think people would assume that you were.
No, of
Yeah.
course not. But what I guess I would just say that, like, I don't think I agree with you that I don't really see anything that offensive about a Native American costume, but also anybody I've ever seen who wore a Native American costume is a person I would hate otherwise.
Yeah.
That's
they
the
shouldn't
thing
be
I would
doing
say. I agree. That's for the most part. I agree with that. Like I don't remember if
that.
I
It does single you out as a
Yeah.
shitty person.
The drunk suburban girl at a music festival.
Yeah.
I think if you're, dude, again, if you're 10, 15 years ago, maybe, and you're just in college and you just generically, because you just want something to wear, I guess I don't know. I'd have to know on an individual basis. Like I said, though, I personally would not wear it anymore. And I never actually did wear an Indian costume, not because I just never did for whatever reason. But, and then Cecil the Lion, though, having said that, though, in my opinion, so I'm going to throw my vote in and let you guys go from there. I'm going to say, though, I'm going to go with Hillary Duff and the Native American because I 100% think, and this Cecil the Lion thing, I looked into it. She got real big backlash from this. She is dressing as the lion, though.
Yeah.
Like, it's not the dentist.
Honestly, she's like giving awareness to it.
No, I was just gonna say the same thing. Yeah,
You could
spreading
argue that.
awareness.
You could argue
Yeah.
that.
Anything.
It's really showing you like that exists. And I don't get
This guy, Nick Verne, your white guy doesn't get offended, like in quotes. Yeah, I get it. I wish, you know what? I almost wish I was something else so I could more credence to my. I will solely admit that you're right. Me not getting offended is an easy thing to do. I mean, joking aside, I know the cliche kind of white guy side. It is harder for me to put myself in those positions, but
you know, and
I
you
can only
do
go
the-
through what I go through, and that's my life, and so that's my feeling.
Right, you know, you could do the whole oppression Olympics and all that, but I would just say, like, to me, we're all like white guys. We're all predominantly white. I think shit making fun of white people a lot of the time is hilarious.
Yeah.
Is the
Oh,
only
yeah.
thing I would say. And I understand it's different. I understand that white people have a higher level of power overall, so it's not the same.
And just some
thing.
history of things that for a lot of reasons why more white people have been assholes to other like this. Dude, I don't want to get into this because it's not our type of show, for example. But honestly, in the last few years, I've looked more into the Native American situation, and I am horrified to this day things that we still are doing. So I am not, honestly, God, more than ever in my life, if I've been horrified of ways they've been treated and are still treated. I just think as far as the costume, I don't know. But she won. She's more offensive. I think we all decided she was more offensive than the lion.
I would say Hillary Duff's boyfriend is more offensive.
Yeah, I just put him as a pair because that's something. Maybe I should have picked.
It's
You know
like,
what? I could have picked.
She is a pilgrim. She made the right.
Do you want me to
choice
move? Do you want me to move
being
to?
a pilgrim?
She-
She
you
should
know
have
what?
her boyfriend be the Indian. but she
I could
made the
move it to
right
Paris Hilton. I could just move it to generic celebrity and Indian costume if you want.
Yeah.
No,
'Cause
well,
it's-
I was just gonna say too, even her choice of pilgrim costume, it's a real like witch burning pilgrim.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
yeah,
it's
that is funny. You're
definitely-
right. That is funny. She's got like the
Got
buckle hat and stuff,
yeah.
and
Yep.
that is interesting.
Yeah,
Okay,
like the
so
ones that sent the Trail of Tears.
Yeah.
Like, that's the kind of pilgrim she is. She killed her boyfriend.
right. Okay, so we're gonna move on. To let me see what I want to do here. Okay, I'm gonna go for this one. This is gonna be an interesting one. I think this is gonna be a very interesting one, and it's actually I'm taking care of blackface in one via V. We're going verse on blackface. So a blackface is going to have to win at least one of these.
Yeah.
I did this on purpose too. So a blackface would have to win. But we got this.
Blackface versus blackface.
I mean,
Yes.
to put anything else up against blackface.
That's the problem.
You're gonna lose. I mean, like that's the one that's gonna win.
So I did 2 blackfaces to face each other. So I don't know if you know these. I'll explain them. I feel like
don't know the individuals.
okay. So one is Kelly Osbourne, I believe. Yeah, Kelly Osbourne doing Rachel Dolezal. Do you guys remember her?
Racial
Which, by the way,
yeah.
is that really blackface? I mean,
Yeah, that's maybe why it's kind of-
Rachel Dolezal did blackface.
Yeah.
I said it's a weird thing, but I thought it was a really interesting matchup because you're right. It's a white girl doing a blackface of a white girl doing blackface.
Yeah, for sure.
Versus it's Juliana Hough doing Crazy Eyes from Orange is the New Black. And I have a question for
the one.
I have a question for you right off the bat. I have a serious question for you guys right off the bat, and I will never do it. I'm not saying this in any capacity. I wouldn't do it. I think it'd be stupid to fucking do it. I can understand why it's insensitive. Having said that, I seriously am interested in what you guys think of this. If you really think about it, though, like if you're doing, like I could have done Bill Murray did Jimi Hendrix. That was a thing one time. Is that really offensive? He's dressing up as a idol, going to a costume. Like if he loves Jimi Hendrix and he wants to go to a party, I'm just saying, in reality, is that offensive?
I feel like she's.
I wouldn't do it.
Really
I wouldn't do it.
Blackface. She's
but I'm
just
saying, but you're dressing up as somebody. Like, what's the difference? But if you're dressing up as someone like an idol, you're like, dude, I love Jimi Hendrix growing up. He's my favorite guy. I'm going to a costume party. I just don't see why technically that's a big deal, honestly.
I mean, what if you went as like Morgan Freeman to a fucking event?
I think that's different. I think that's different.
In blackface?
I think that's different to me.
Look like Morgan Freeman.
Me? I kind of do look like Morgan Freeman, don't I?
You can do it. Don't.
No.
That's what I'm saying.
Tyler, here's the distinction, I think. I think the distinction is, to me, in my mind, you can't just do any old black actor. Like in this girl doing the girl from Orange is the New Black, that was a revolutionary show, an all-female cast. It was really popular.
She could have been someone else.
I know, I get it, but that's her favorite character. I'm just saying I'm sorry. I don't think, to me, doing like Jimi Hendrix is a very unique person. You do that look. I don't have a problem with it personally, but
okay, here's what it comes down to for me, honestly. Loved Orange is the New Black.
Yeah.
Seen all of it.
Yeah, okay. I should watch it. I never did.
It's a really good show.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't see that expressed at all in this costume.
No.
I see a very ridiculous caricature.
Yeah. And the other one, honestly, doesn't have blackface. Doesn't feel like she has blackface. She's just dressing up as that other woman. This chick did blackface.
Yeah.
Right.
Like she put shit on her face to be darker.
Did Kelly Osbourne even put shit on her face to be darker? Like I feel like she might just got be a wig. White with a wig on.
Yeah. Yeah. It's funny. I know this guy really well, but he's commenting a lot, and he's right. He's making some good points though. Like he says here, much of the issue is the face paint. Dress like the idol, but leave your skin alone. Essentially, that's a good point, dude. That's a good point.
Whereas, like the one doing Crazy Eyes looks like she used shoe polish. On her face.
Yeah,
that's a great point, dude. You guys are right. And you know what, dude? Him saying that did change my mind a little bit on that. Like, because you guys do understand where I was coming from, like on the Jimi Hendrix thing, right? Though, for example. But you understand where I'm coming from, like on Jimi Hendrix, right? Like in a way, like I'm not in my mind. I'm thinking, dude, you're just
do the style of him. You can't.
That's a good point. You guys are right.
Polish on your face.
No, you guys are right.
Guitar have like what is
crazy
Jimi Hendrix
hair?
Even have? Yeah, exactly. Like
that's a great. All that stuff is a good point. And you know what?
Guitar on fire when you're drunk. Like.
And here, I'm going to say this, and I'm not trying to get too deep, and then after this, we'll kind of move on. But see, the conversation we just had there is something I wish more people have. Because, like, you guys know me enough to know what where I am. And I was just asking a question because I really was trying to say, like, I thought in certain situations, maybe it wouldn't be a big deal. Because I didn't think you were being, but then you guys won me over. You changed my mind in the end. And you're right. You just do the look and kind of. So I don't know. It's something I wish more people would do.
On your face.
Yeah,
just
like
don't go for the skin tone.
That makes sense, dude. That makes sense. That totally makes sense.
If you dressed up like Morgan Freeman and did nothing to your face, You could still pull it off.
I don't think you
I
can
still
pull
I
it
don't think
off.
I could. I think I would need the. I
You
hate.
look like an older Eric Fady.
I think I would need the. If I was trying to do
You
Morgan
need
Freeman,
blackface
unfortunately,
for that,
I
but
think I would
don't
need.
do it.
Okay, can we also though talk about like I do feel like you're right about like doing blackface always a bad idea.
I'm
Always
never gonna do it.
all
Ever,
of that.
ever gonna do it, dude.
There
I'm just
are-
saying. What's up?
There are people in recent history who've gotten away with it. I mean,
Oh, I know.
Always Sunny in Philadelphia
Yeah.
for sure. Like,
Yeah.
which they always are amazing to me.
Talladega Nights.
Sarah Silverman is the other one I was thinking
Oh,
of.
Sarah
But
Silverman.
Ted
like,
Danson did it once, and no one. He's never been canceled. He did it one time because he was dating
tried to
Whoopi
use
Goldberg
The
at the.
fact that he was dating Whoopi Goldberg
Yeah.
at the time as an excuse. I remember.
By
that.
the way,
That's
so did-
not an excuse.
No.
Nope.
But he
Um,
got away with it. No, he never got canceled from it. Never. Nothing ever. That was still back in the day. But these
That's just
days, I mean,
back
he's
in
been
the
on
day.
Curb Your.
Yeah.
But he's been on Curb Your Enthusiasm as a returning character, and you don't hear people saying he did blackface once.
Oh, he's been on several shows.
Yeah.
since then.
Right.
Um,
He did- Go ahead.
I do feel like though, like there is a context that matters, and like you know, I always feel like honestly, the show Always Sunny in Philadelphia rides that line probably better than any other show.
Anything ever,
The
possibly,
shit that
dude.
they can pull off.
Yeah.
They do it in a weird way that is funny, yet somehow you know they're not making fun of it. You know they're making fun of the people that would be doing it.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
also, like, you're right. They
Themselves.
ride that line so well. It's a
Absolutely.
God. I've been going through that show, and it's offensive, but it's not because
Yeah,
you
we're-
actually know they're making fun of the people they're being offensive
Yeah.
about, but they do
Like,
it in a
they
way
did-
that's
like even
Yeah.
think about like some of Dee's characters and stuff.
Oh, yeah, no,
Like,
totally.
Jesus Christ.
They said
but-
the N word on that shit.
Yeah.
Oh, I know.
straight up.
and
like-
and nothing ever happens. You know what I mean?
No.
Okay, so
Yeah. then
oh,
what
go
they
ahead.
do-
No, go ahead.
No, go
Absolutely.
ahead. You
Go-
go ahead.
Oh, well, here, I'm going to let you say, if you want to say it, I'm going to let you say that. That's going to kind of be our blackface talk because that character will come through. I don't want to do it every time that character comes up.
I would
So if you want to
definitely
if you wanted to say one
yeah.
more thing, I'd
He'll
have to
be a
let you go.
strong
ahead.
contender for the win. I feel like.
Yeah. Yeah.
It could be. I might
Not as
be the
bad.
one
I
to
mean,
try to.
She's not got like the full on caricature. She did just like darken.
What do
her
you mean she
skin.
did do the
She
white
didn't-
around her eyes?
Yes, and the red lips and the like.
She's not doing a little minstrel dance.
Yeah, she doesn't have a top hat.
Oh Jesus! Yeah, that's really
Something
yeah.
like
That's some.
that. So I feel like at least she didn't do. She does look. She could pull off. I'm tan. She isn't trying to. She's trying to be a black woman. But
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like she could pull off. I'm tan.
And that hair might be more offensive than a top hat.
Yeah.
See, I didn't watch the show enough, so to me that just looked like what I thought the character was. So
It
I don't
is.
know.
I mean, it is, except it's not a white woman.
Does
Yeah, but see again,
Yeah,
if
she
you're
has
doing the
those little
character,
buns.
see, okay, and
Crazy
whoa,
ass
Tyler, if you're in
Yeah.
this Tyler, in this instance, if you're gonna say like dress like the lady, I think that you can. If she can't do the face, that's fine, but I think she should be able to do the hair if she wants to go as crazy eyes.
No, I agree. I think
Yeah.
that the face is more offensive. I just think that also just don't be the character.
Yeah.
It's just like,
But if that's your favorite
you can't
character,
find a
that's the
black
thing,
friend.
though. Wait a minute, though. If that's your favorite character, think about that, though. You think about that. You're limiting the fact that you can't do your favorite character on a show because. But in a way,
And I'd be
that's you're
fine with
flattering
that.
them
You-
by
that
doing
is a
that.
limitation that shouldn't be that big
Okay,
a deal.
But
Yeah.
you're flattering them by doing it. You're literally like saying, "This is my favorite character." I'm-
I would say though, like it's funny as a comparison point that I would kind of agree with you on. That I think takes it a little bit further. Even is that like I've had a lot of people like one thing. I don't know if you've ever heard this. I know we have different online followings and all.
Yeah,
that,
yeah,
but
of
there's
course.
a lot of people, especially in left wing circles and stuff like that. It was a thing for a while telling everybody, like, if you're white, you're not allowed to share a post with the N-word in it. And it's like,
Well, there's
okay,
digital
now you're
blackface, and I
disarming
know some
black
people that say,
creators.
dude, I know people that use the word digital blackface. I have a friend who's got yelled at online for sharing memes
Yeah.
with like Kevin Hart, and they'll be like, "Oh, you're using digital blackface," and it's like, dude, no, I'm just sharing them,
Yeah, I wouldn't
It's
say
insanity.
that
yeah.
is insane.
But particularly with the
or like a
N-word
GIF,
thing,
not a
too,
meme.
with
Sorry, a
relation-
GIF, like a GIF,
Yeah.
even like just
I've heard
like
that
if we're
too.
texting each other, and I'm like, and I want to use a Kevin Hart GIF. They're like, "Whoa, digital blackface."
The only thing I will say is I have known awful, pretty racist people who will like exclusively use black people.
Yeah, I get it. You're right.
GIFs,
That's
You're
and
right.
That's not okay.
no.
No,
But
no.
Also, yeah.
But if you're going, yeah,
Yeah, no, totally. If you want to fucking use Kevin Hart or something like that, because it's a fire fucking like
right.
GIF.
Like, dude,
works.
dude, the idea that I would sit there thinking like, this is hey, I'm going back and forth with someone. This is my best reaction is, I know we keep saying Kevin Hart, but it could be, myriad of people, like, could be Chappelle or some shit, whatever. It doesn't matter. Like, if that's what I think the funniest reaction to, that's what I'm going to use. But anyway, whatever. We'll kind of get off that. We're going to move to, now this one, Scott will know the name of this better than me, I feel, because it's a Buddha religious thing. And so I'll send the pictures here. There's this. And the one picture I have is not great of the other one, by the way.
Yeah. All right.
So the other one isn't great, but it's the Chainsmokers, and they dressed up as Ebola back when the Ebola crisis was going on about 4 years ago.
Who is dressing up as Kaylee?
Yeah, who is that?
It's
The Indian goddess Kaylee.
Yeah, where we got here? Just 1 second. Heidi Klum.
Heidi Klum. Okay.
Heidi Klum.
In a weird
So Heidi Klum is dressed up as who did you say the
white
name is again? Kaylee?
Yeah, Kaylee.
For people that don't know, I mean, you want to give a better description because you might even
Yeah,
know
you know
how to
what she
describe
is.
that.
Yeah, it's like
what's
the Indian goddess of like destruction.
And there's like 8 arms or something, right? Or whatever.
There are some
All
awesome
blue.
statues of her and shit where she has got like decapitated heads in her hands and like
Where? In India?
yeah, I've seen them at stores around here.
Oh, wow. What?
Yeah.
Like, are decapitating humans. You've seen that in what, like
Yeah,
a
she's the
magic
goddess
store?
of this. Yeah,
You're not getting
or-
it at like a Dollar Tree.
There's like an Indian store in Manitou
Oh,
here.
Okay.
oh, I was not
that
aware.
has that. Yeah.
That's crazy. So she is the goddess of destruction.
Not really comparable to Satan, but like kind of their Satan.
Oh, okay.
Gotcha.
And
And then the Chainsmokers, I don't know how you dress up as Ebola, but we'll just say they were Ebola. They were DJing at probably a costume Halloween themed event, I would assume. And back about 4 years ago or so, it was maybe 5. Ebola, I think it actually might have been 5 or 6 years ago. But Ebola was like there was a big outbreak for a while there, and we were actually worried. You know what's weird that we went through, by the way, now we've gone through COVID. We were on the Detroit cast, and I was starting to get paranoid about Ebola because they were talking about it coming. There was one case of it down in Dallas, and they were talking about like, taping off like the airport and like this and that. I was like, dude, we're gonna kill 100. I made some prediction on the
100,000
Detroit
people
cast.
are gonna die from
I
Ebola.
said on the Detroit cast, I think there was gonna be like 5 million people were gonna die from Ebola in America. Or whatever it was, some grand number.
Insane stuff in that time period too, talking
Yeah.
about like, oh yeah, no, your stomach turns into liquid and you shit it out.
And it was
That
like, dude,
sounds
Ebola is
like
like
a
you get Ebola and
terrible
you're
way to
basically
go.
dead.
Yeah.
You get Ebola and you're basically dead. Ebola has a very high death rate compared to COVID. But anyway,
I would say like, I don't know. It's hard because I feel like I don't think the Ebola one is as offensive as the Kaylee because you just white people dressing up as other races. It's
Is a
pretty
real
much you're just
problem.
not allowed to
It's a
do it.
problem.
But
Yeah.
I
do you give her any
The
credence because
look
it's a very good costume? Does that help at all in
You're
your
talking
mind?
about his smug,
the look,
satisfied
the
look.
look on the guy from the Chainsmokers
Yeah.
face is I can't imagine a more obnoxious face
Yeah,
in my entire
I just want
life.
him to win being an asshole or being
Yeah,
the worst.
he looks like I'm
He's
so
smug.
yeah, I'm
He's-
edgy and I'm smug.
Yeah. And so happy
Interesting.
about it.
Now the funny thing is the Chainsmokers are one of my favorite DJ duos. So I have a little of a
Bias.
what do you call it? Yeah, bias here.
His look is like, "What are you offended, bro? Am I offended?"
Yeah, I know.
And-
Maybe they were playing.
And-
Maybe they were playing
yeah,
selfie at the
Heidi
time.
Klum is just like, this is a dope costume. I
And
really put
and
effort
she
in.
really went for it.
She
It's
really
not, It's not especially offensive.
It's not a dot on her forehead and like
yeah.
something like that. It's like she really put effort into this thing.
I'm not gonna lie, it's a cool costume.
Yeah, I'll give her that. Like
I hate
it
to
is
say this,
offensive.
by the
I
way.
think that's not okay because honestly, just don't do it. But if you're gonna do it, do
Well,
it
again,
Heidi
all
Klum.
like I said,
Yeah.
all these are offensive. So you
Yeah.
gotta,
I'm saying.
100%.
that's the other thing. What people have to remember is everything on here is definitely considered offensive. These were all in. So one of them just going to be more offensive than the other. So you're not even by picking the
Yeah,
Chainsmokers.
yeah,
say
there's
you're not saying
still
she's not
offensive.
offending anyone. You're just saying
Yes.
that these are offending more in your opinion.
Yeah, and it has
Um,
nothing to do with the Ebola. It's just his smug ass face offends me.
Yeah.
and I don't like it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pick, by the way, her because I just think because I like them and I don't think here's the reasons I'm gonna pick her. 1, I like them. 2, I don't think the Ebola is offensive at all. But 3, since you guys already both picked him or
Yeah.
picked them, I might as well pick her because it doesn't really sway anything, and I get to keep my chain smoker cred going. So, so they move on.
Yep.
Do you think somebody? Hey, really quick. Do you think somebody would get in trouble for dressing up as a coronavirus?
No, I don't think so.
I don't think so.
But
either.
Actually, you know what? Probably
It'd be a mild controversy.
Well, here let me tell you this, Scott, and not that we have to get into a talk of cancel culture or offending, but let me give you this example. And I know you guys don't watch sports, but there was a football game this weekend where a very one of the best quarterbacks of all time, Tom Brady, threw his the 600th touchdown pass. Right, throws it in the crowd. Yeah. The player gives it up to the fan because he doesn't know it's a milestone. They try to get it back from him. The football announcer on TV. They were doing a back and forth. They were looking down on the camera, and you could clearly tell an official or like a Tampa Bay team, worker for Tampa Bay is down there trying to negotiate how to get the ball back, right?
Yeah.
And the guy on TV is just like, if I were him, I'd try to get a date with Giselle out of this because Tom Brady's married to a fucking supermodel, right? And people are now offended, like, this is creepy, and why would he say, dude, it's on TV. He's just doing a football game. And he's just kind of saying, I'd try to get a date from Giselle. Yeah. And so my point is, like, when you say would people get offended by coronavirus, of course they would. Yes, these days we all know if one person gets offended, the whole world
would you get
knows.
canceled? I guess is more so what I meant. Who cares if a handful?
I don't think you.
I don't know. My answer would be no, but I wouldn't cancel almost anybody. So
I feel like if you're somebody's known for doing wacky things, you can get away with it. Somebody like really professional comes
if you're on the right, Scott, I hate to say this politically, dude. If you're a conservative and you do it, you're probably getting canceled. If you're a liberal,
it really depends
probably
on
not.
your opinion on the vaccine. That would 100%
exactly
change the reaction. Yep.
If you wear your mask or not.
and I've got to point out, we have in our comment section, somebody said that they saw a dancing coronavirus outside a vaccination clinic.
That's hilarious.
Hilarious. What is that? You paid like some side flipper to dress up in a coronavirus?
Well, I assumed it was like I assumed it was someone being a smart ass. I assumed it was someone being a smart ass, not like not like hey,
the clinic
vaccines over here, guys.
I hope it was the vaccines over here.
That's what I was thinking. Like somebody.
What you should do if you're a vaccine company, they should have
some random man with a
no. If it was promoting it, they should have the coronavirus, and then a guy has a needle chasing after it, getting rid of him.
Okay, I'm just saying, we don't know, but imagine if they did pay him. Imagine you're just that guy, and you're just like, I'm 30 years old, and I'm making minimum wage dancing around in a coronavirus outfit in 90 degrees.
Imagine you're the guy running around with a vaccine trying to get him. They're a sad pair.
Yeah. Okay,
but anyway, my point is like
nothing sadder than a sign guy.
No,
it's a rough deal, dude.
Yeah,
I definitely didn't one time throw a Little Caesars pizza. I definitely never one time threw a Little Caesars pizza at a guy holding a Little Caesars $5 sign.
You made his life even like at base level. Their life sucks, and then you threw a pizza at him.
You know what though? If you're dancing around with a sign, that's your fucking fault.
He wasn't in the Little Caesars costume, by the way. It wasn't like his face.
The pizza in the face.
He wasn't the Caesars costume, by the way. He wasn't just like it wasn't right in his face. Per se, it wasn't the costume.
It hit him off the shoulder and burned.
No. But I'm saying it was a costume. Like he had a like a Caesar's costume on, so it wasn't direct to his face.
And this might be a little bit off subject, but I do feel like, I'm very much for worker solidarity. I'm very much for. I think everybody's underpaid. I think I think we need to seize the fucking means of production. But I still cannot if you are a fast food worker, if you are holding a sign, if you are working at a gas station, it's a little bit on you because you can get a better job.
Yeah.
Especially right now, I got to say. Especially right now. There is stuff out there right now. But anyway. Sorry.
Yeah, and they'll pay you the same shit wage, but you don't
but
have
at least
to
you're not,
do that.
Right, for sure. I hate to do this. We're at 40 minutes, so we better get going.
Yeah.
Which is cool. It's fine. I mean, it's a good thing. We're having a lot to talk about. It's a cool thing. But I just want to get through these. So we're gonna say you know what, dude? I did Heidi Klum versus why did I do her for the Chainsmokers? Oh, I fucked that up. Okay, I did. It's all right. I'll do this. I'll change this up a little bit. I kind of messed up I read two different things in the wrong way. So we did Heidi Klum versus the Chainsmokers in the end. So I just stupid. I find my handwriting is garbage, as you know. So I kind of looked at two big things. Yeah. So we're moving on to So I'll send you these pictures, and you're not gonna know. I don't think you're gonna know who either of these are by their picture per se, but I'll send them first.
Okay.
The opposite of blackface, by the way, is one of these.
Oh man, I feel like I know that face. Who is that?
I don't think you do because he's he's a sports athlete. Not that doesn't mean you wouldn't know him, but so the one I've sent them is Dwayne Wade, basketball
Okay,
player
I do know
doing.
Dwayne Wade. Okay.
Oh, you do? Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Doing whiteface. He's doing Justin Timberlake, is who he's supposed to be doing right now.
He does not look like. I guess the outfit.
He
And-
looks like
and-
Justin Timberlake's corpse.
Yeah.
He looks like Justin Timberlake if he had like. He looks like Justin Timberlake to me, almost like if he had like his liver disease, like his like
Oh my god. No, you know what he looks like is if you've ever seen Michael Jackson's autopsy pictures.
Yes,
Oh,
yes.
yeah, he really
He
does.
looks like
Or
that.
I was gonna say Justin Timberlake from the '90s, dead and brought back to life in his new clothes.
Yeah.
Right,
I
right.
don't even know
Hair.
what brought back to life. I don't see anything implying he's alive.
No, he does look like he's being propped up. Like this is a Weekend at Bernie's.
I guess it's hard for a black. I mean, when you think about black people, like to do a white face is kind of hard. I don't know how. It's a little too white still, though. Having said, I think you
Go
can get
ghost.
cream, can't you? Can't you get a creamish? I don't know how it works with their skin. You know, what I mean, what would show off or not? But
Yeah, it looks like he threw powder in his face.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you
like
can
fucking-
not do
flour.
a good white skin tone. I'm trying to think of right now. I'm like, okay, you got Eddie Murphy, looked like
yeah,
like
yeah.
a zombie. Michael Jackson, Dave Chappelle, this guy.
Yeah.
Oh
You
yeah,
can't do
yeah,
a good
yeah.
White skin tone.
No.
Right, right. And so the other picture I sent you guys, by the way, is Kylie Jenner, and she's now
Yeah, I
here's
was
what
wondering
what here's where the offensive part is that she at first labeled it sexy Eskimo, and then she later changed it to some name that wasn't just like white princess or not white, but you know what I mean, like something. But so that's where she got in trouble, calling it an Eskimo. This is like with
Sexy igloo
Gypsy.
troll.
Yeah, this is like with Gypsy that I didn't realize actually was offensive. We've learned that on this at least I did learn on this podcast that it was offensive. So to me,
I did too, man.
I guess
I
it's
had no idea.
offensive.
And yet you continue to say
We
it.
heard it here first.
Well, I'm saying it in the context.
to know, right?
I'm saying it in
You
the
say the G
context
word?
of.
You say the slur for Romani.
That's
Okay,
too
sorry.
much.
My apologies. To all our Romani
Saying
listeners, I
G-word.
apologize. But
Which,
you know what's funny? I said retarded last week.
to me, I don't know why it feels
I
so
said
much more upsetting.
I said retarded last week because we decided on this show that we could say it anyway. That's like
Yeah.
I think on any podcast these days, anything you're doing in entertainment base these days, the group needs to decide if that word is okay. We
Yeah.
decided it was. I said it last week though, but we hadn't said it in a while, and Scott's face was like, "Oh, he did say it," and then Scott ended up saying it later in that episode.
I
But
do remember that. Yeah.
But Scott's face when I
Eric
first-
opened the doors for you. Okay, all right. We're saying
yeah, when I first said it though, Scott was like, "Oh, okay." And then, so anyway, we got Dwayne Wade as whiteface, as it were. Justin Timberlake. I would tell you this: Eskimo is offensive as much as the G word is offensive. You could argue in
I
this
would
setting.
say
You could argue in this setting though that him with the white, he didn't even try to do white. And I could argue that's rather offensive, not as a white person, but as a creative person.
Yeah. I would say that her costume, she could get away with like "I'm cold" instead of saying.
Oh, she changed the name on her page, and she
I
ended up
don't even think
retitling
it's a
what she called it.
costume.
No,
I
it's
think
not.
It's
calling it
not.
a costume
Lingerie.
is even
a
an
hood.
exaggeration. That's like
That's a good
outfit
point. It's just
somebody
her
would wear
dressing
to, like,
sexy.
the club or something.
Yeah. So I'm
I'm gonna.
say it's not offensive because it doesn't look. I would if I saw that. I
Well, it
wouldn't
was
even know
all
it
in the title. It was all that she used the word Eskimo and not
Yeah,
just.
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if she's supposed to say an.
But as
What
a
is it?
costume, I'd say that's
Induent.
not very
Induent.
offensive.
Is that what it is? What is it like?
Induent?
Induent or?
Yeah.
Inuit, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure she was not going to title her Instagram "sexy Induent" or
Sexy
Induit.
You can't
Is it
spell Inuit.
Inuit? Is that it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Inuit.
Yep.
Okay.
No, I would say like if we're ranking Kylie Jenner offenses to like that Pepsi commercial she made more offensive than this costume.
Oh yeah. I forgot
What
about
was she
that.
doing this Pepsi commercial?
Oh my god, there was this awesome, you don't remember this is like 2 or 3 years ago. they did like a Pepsi commercial where there was like
sexy.
there was like a protest, but it was like so fake. It was like kind of everybody like smiling and holding signs and stuff.
Okay.
Yeah,
then,
yeah.
Like, the cops kind of smiling and just like standing back, and then she comes in and she like brings them together by giving them.
Shut up! Oh,
That's a great point. Maybe she should be canceled just for that alone. But
I think that is absolutely the case. Let's cancel her. Let's do it.
I'm gonna
guys.
go with her, not because I really care about the. I mean, of course, I care about the Inuit people and the word of Eskimo, but
Yeah.
I just don't think Dwayne Wade.
I couldn't
Yeah,
really.
this podcast is pro Inuit.
We are
Oh, for
pro
sure.
Inuit, but
Especially when I
also,
go to Alaska
if she
next year. Let them
didn't
know
say
that.
Right.
If
I
she
don't-
didn't
I don't need-
say the
Scott,
words,
I don't
though,
need to
I
do-
wouldn't be able to tell.
I don't need to do this episode and then like 7 months from now go up to Alaska and have somebody go, "You son of a bitch!"
Yeah,
So,
have a band in
pro
their hand,
Inuit.
just like we've been waiting for you, boy.
I mean,
Right,
they
right.
don't have cell phones.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Or
that's a good point.
internet.
I'm and also, by the way, I'm gonna
north.
stick with my point that I think if you're portraying someone you care about, that I don't think the whiteface is a big deal. So I'm gonna go with Kylie Jenner. Eskimo thing,
Yeah.
fuck that.
Yeah, sexy Eskimo for sure.
Sexy Eskimo for the most offensive.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just say
Okay,
I
so
couldn't tell. But definitely,
We're
if she's posting about that, she's a piece of shit. And he might know Justin Timberlake.
Well, and I
Well, he
can't
probably
get mad at
does.
somebody for doing whiteface. It does absolutely nothing.
Yeah, nothing. I don't really care.
okay, so we're gonna go on to. I'm gonna send. Okay, I think you'll know the one for sure. And I'm not sure if you'll know the other one, but I'm gonna send these over. God, this is gonna be. God, we're at 45 minutes here. Damn. Okay.
I'm
I
sure
knew this would go
it'll be
well.
the same as before, where we can blast through the
Ooh.
last.
Yeah, we're gonna blast through the other ones. This is a good matchup, though. Look at the both. There's a good matchup. I mean, you're gonna have to pick. You're gonna have to pick one of these.
Who is it?
Second guy. Who's
is
the
it
second
Prince?
guy? Is it Prince?
Yeah, famously Prince Harry,
Is that even
doing
a costume?
a Nazi.
That's just
So
a
we have-
Nazis like.
He's not Hitler though. He's not Hitler though, and to me that's a big difference. I think there's a difference between just doing a Nazi and doing Hitler because he's
Okay,
not the
here's
leader of the Nazis.
Ben Stiller being somebody who was
Retarded.
Yeah. Retarded. I was gonna say mentally challenged.
Here's my thing about this. So this is Shaun White, by the way, doing the character.
Shaun White, yeah.
Yeah, he's doing a character from a movie. Yeah, from a movie, Simple Jack. From I forget what the movie's called. But it's a character in a
Well, that's
movie.
not
It's a character.
But the character in the movie is not actually mentally challenged.
But that's a character.
Yeah. It's-
What is the premise for this movie? I've never heard.
I
It's
don't
like a
actually remember.
mentally
Tropical
challenged-
Thunder.
Tropical Thunder. Yeah, it's like Ben Stiller is played in a movie where he was retarded, and he goes like full retard in it.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. I've seen Tropic Thunder. That makes
Yeah.
sense. Yeah. Okay.
Don't you? This is a tough
that-
match, I
that
think, for you
face
guys.
sounds offensive.
I agree.
You
Shaun White's.
The face is worse. His face.
But that means you know what's funny? I did this to you guys on purpose because you have to pick one of these to be
now,
to be more
I will
offensive.
add context too to the Prince Harry thing. The thing is, I don't believe, if I remember right, I don't believe this was a Halloween thing. I believe this
What?
was like a weird party he threw.
He was at like a
Where they were
Vegas
pretending to be
nightclub
Nazis.
for like a yes. He was like at a Vegas nightclub or
Well, this
something.
isn't
Prince
even
Harry's.
Halloween.
You
No,
know,
oh shit!
Just
You know
the
what? I
Nazi-
looked this up. I don't know. I looked this up and it's in several. You know what? Maybe it just got thrown in there because it's dressed up. We're just gonna assume it was a Halloween costume, even though I think you're right. I think he was just at a nightclub in Vegas.
yeah.
No, you can put it. You know, you can put it in that context. It was a nightclub in Vegas, so he dressed up one time at a nightclub in Vegas. He's in. I'm telling you, I think there's a distinction between being a Nazi and Hitler. I think it's a difference in my mind. It's less
What is
offensive.
the distinction?
Yeah, what is the difference?
Hitler is the leader. Like Hitler was the. If you're doing Hitler, dude, Hitler, like you could argue a lot of these Nazis, they were just people that kind of got brainwashed, or they were in their country, and they
gassing people.
no. People can absolutely be changed, and you start building around and going, oh, look at us right now, dude. Look at
The
us right now with
Nuremberg
people.
Tribunal would disagree with you.
What's up?
The Nuremberg Tribunal would disagree with you.
I know, but look at us right now where people are just going along with vaccine, doing these things where they're starting to. I'm just saying, look,
Yeah.
I'm not saying this is even my real belief. I'm just giving you guys my devil's advocate version of why there could be a difference between Hitler. In my opinion, Hitler was the leader. He had the plan. He wrote Mein Kampf. He knew there are Nazis who just were scared to not just go along with the thing.
Do you think he's dressing up as a scared, brainwashed Nazi?
I'm just giving you. I'm just giving you a very devil's advocate version of why there's a difference.
Chilling in Vegas on a normal Tuesday.
Which also, the royal family has a long history of dressing up as Nazis. He is not the only.
Okay,
one.
I didn't actually know that. So I apologize for not knowing that ahead of
Right.
time. But
They're like, this is the one time.
didn't they fight them? They were on our side, right? They fought the Nazis, right?
Yeah.
Eventually.
Well, we all did it eventually.
If we want to get into that, like,
okay,
yes,
well, I don't want
at a certain point, the U.S. fought Hitler, but the ruling classes in these countries.
Talking about Britain.
And I know more about the U.S. than Britain, but I guarantee. I mean,
Scott, real quick.
Before, yeah.
I'm not trying to cut you off. I'm just generically, I wanted to say, didn't they overall, though, they fought the Nazis? I don't want to get too into the actual. They weren't on our side. They were weren't they on our? They weren't though. I mean, am I wrong?
They were on the. They were against the Nazis. They might have
overall in the end they were not fighting.
No. Okay, you want to talk about against the Nazis? I realize this is a diversion, but real quick, a lot of these people were selling them shit till the very end.
Okay, I know this. I'm just saying that overall, though, the country in general wasn't it fighting the Nazis? Or am I wrong? I mean, Britain wasn't on the.
For a year or two at the end of World War II.
Okay, I guess I'm really
kind of. I mean,
but they were never on their side, really. Though I'm not talking about the ruling class. I'm talking generically the army as a whole was not on their side, right?
No, never on their side.
That's all I mean, dude. I don't want to get okay. We're going way off the.
Against saying it. Yes, the British fought the Nazis. They
barely.
Did. They still did.
Okay, we're getting way off the thing.
The British royal family certainly did not.
No.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. You know what I'm asking, though. I think you're being a little stubborn. I think with answering this question.
Yeah, too divergent.
Okay, so who do you think here?
I'm gonna say Simple Jack because his face. He should not be making that face.
I mean, yeah, that is a picture. So I'm sure he didn't walk around with that face.
Nazi.
What'd you say?
Nazi?
Yeah.
I don't.
So you're going Simple Jack. You're going. So we actually have a 1-1 between you guys, right?
The Simple Jack thing too is it's the same as the Rachel Dolezal thing. It's more complicated than you're just.
Of course, all of these are more complicated in my mind, but I'm gonna go. So that it's one
complicated.
I wish I could. Yeah, you can see it. Look,
it's
at that
1-1,
face, people.
So I mean, I have to decide what's more offensive in this, and I'll say this. In the end, despite, by the way, the fact that I gave you all those reasons why there's a difference between a Nazi and a regular just Nazi and Hitler, I still think that the Nazi is more offensive overall than this, and I'm gonna go with him moving on. Prince Harry moves on.
I would say yes, it's offensive that he's a Nazi. He's not wearing a Nazi costume. He's just wearing a shirt.
Which is
all right, we're gonna move on to okay, I'll send you these pictures here. This is a tough one too, I believe. Let me think. Steve, wait a minute. Oh, what did I do here? I'm trying to look at my fucking bracket here. Oh yeah, okay, I haven't done this. Okay, sorry. So we're gonna do this versus
yeah.
Where is
Bill
it?
Maher
Okay.
dressed as Steve Irwin.
After his death, of course.
With a stingray barb through his heart.
And then you got Chris Brown as a terrorist. By the way, terrorist was another thing. I could have done 10 terrorists. There was Scott Disick did a terrorist, Arab guy, generic Arab guy, whatever. So terrorist was another one that was for a while. There was a decent amount of them.
And every week Tyler does these drawings, and we were trying to discuss
what
he could draw that wouldn't be offensive. And it was
that would be offensive, but not too offensive.
Not too offensive.
Not enough.
Okay. Can't do a terrorist, can't do blackface.
Yep.
We did do a Nazi, I guess.
We did do a Nazi.
I would assume you probably knew these were going to come up though in the actual bracket I would create. You didn't want to draw them, right?
Yeah. I just wanted to draw Nazis, actually. That's all it is.
Right. So we got Steve Irwin, Bill Maher dressing as Steve Irwin post death. I know what I think here. I actually don't think it's that hard on this one.
I mean, I feel like it's full on. I absolutely Bill Maher. I
What?
love me.
Wow.
Just
wow.
from my personal feelings towards
Okay.
Steve Irwin, I would
Wow. Well, I think Scott knows where I'm going with that because I thought it was
your
no doubt.
reaction was very clear.
So if it's
Which
if it's
direction?
on me, okay, I will say first of all that I hate Bill Maher maybe more than anybody else on the planet.
Gotcha.
I find him to be just one of the most
Yeah.
obnoxious human beings just in
Yeah,
general.
I can
could do
understand
an
that.
hour-long show on the reasons why I hate Bill Maher.
Yeah. I can
Um,
understand that.
Still, though, I don't really give a shit about Steve Irwin.
I do.
And it's
it's not a-
tasteless costume.
It is tasteless.
Right. But I mean, so we all die.
Yeah.
Everyone dies. It's a human thing.
Yeah, it just feels like kind
But a
of really
terrorist, dude, dude, Tyler, I can't believe you're saying like this is a racist, absolute racist costume. The idea of just a generic terrorist and that it's Arabic and that it's like, hey,
Yeah. I mean,
let's-
if you're going as a terrorist, you're right. I just still feel like as a costume, it really.
so you're
upsets me that
going,
Bill
Scott,
Maher-
where are you going with this?
Okay,
I'm gonna.
I mean, clearly he's gonna.
And here's my thing with the Chris Brown thing too. You got to put it in context. This was what, like a year after
Yeah.
those pictures came out of Rihanna's face, where he like
yeah, that's
beat
true.
the shit out of her, and then he's doing this on top.
Literally
of that.
having fucking guns and shit across his chest.
Which okay, it really quick too. Just it blows my mind. I'm not even gonna lie. Chris Brown's Body is a pretty good song, but it was kind of fucked up that Lil Dicky rehabilitated him.
Did how did he do that? How I only
He's
know
had
Little
him in a
Dicky
song.
from the show that he has on
Dave.
FX. I don't know him from actual like his rapping.
He's got I'd say probably his most famous song
One of his
is
yeah.
Chris Brown's Body, which is like a song he does with Chris Brown where they swap
With a
bodies.
Freaky
and stuff.
Friday.
Okay.
They switch bodies.
Yeah.
That's
And
very
it's like-
interesting.
and it kind of brought him back into like where he's a respectable celebrity again.
Interesting. I didn't know about that. And by the way, just real quick, have you ever checked that show? Because that's funny. I literally don't even know Little Dicky as a rapper. I didn't even realize he was a real rapper. I just started watching that show because it looked kind of interesting. And then I'm like, oh, he is a real rapper. I just thought this was a show.
He is not a rapper. He's never done a rap verse in his life. He talks over a beat.
Okay, but I'm saying, but
I
he
disagree
is in a
with
sense that I'm saying,
wholeheartedly disagree.
but
I
I'm saying
think
he
this
is.
motherfucker doesn't know what he's talking about. So.
No. But he is in the
Wrong.
sense that he is not just a TV character. Like I
Yeah,
literally didn't even realize.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying,
He
right?
does rap. Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
no,
he technically
totally.
does it. He's just not.
Yeah.
It's just not a fake thing on TV.
But yes, I've seen
per
Dave
se.
too. I liked the first season. Second season was that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's kind of how I felt. I loved the first season. I thought you're right. I'd
Me
still,
too.
I would still keep watching it probably to see where it goes if it has another one. But I
Same.
agree.
Yeah.
Okay.
Chris Brown.
Again, I'm going. Yeah, Bill Maher.
Okay, so I have one more here in the first round, and then
And
after
so
this
Chris
one,
Brown moves on, right?
Yes.
yeah. After this one, we're gonna kind of rapid fire to the champion here because
Okay.
not that time's a big deal, but we're at 57 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, we
And-
went through
and-
these already too.
And yeah, once you go through them, you go through them. So what do we have left? Okay, so we got okay, so one of these I'm gonna have to explain because you will not know who they. Well, you might. Again, you knew who Dwayne Wade was, so who knows? It's another sports person, but it's not a sports person. It's Jeff Ross making fun of a sports person.
Okay. This sounds familiar. Oh, Joe Paterno, right?
Yes.
Joe
Wow.
Paterno
Ding, ding, ding,
touching
dude.
kids.
Yeah.
Joe Pa.
Yeah,
well, he
whoa.
didn't do it. Joe
I mean,
Paterno.
are those
to
kids?
sum it up for people who don't know,
Or are those like interns of his?
Those are
Jeff Ross dressed. No, those are like the football players. Jeff Ross, comedian, dressed as Joe Paterno. Joe Paterno didn't molest kids. It's just very well known after the fact. No. He didn't do the molesting. It's just very well known after the fact that he had a worker on his staff that was doing it, and he did it. He didn't
He knew
do
he didn't.
either nothing or very close to nothing.
Okay.
So he didn't molest the kids, but
Man,
I'm not
the
defending him. I'm not
shirtless
defending-
The people dressed up like shirtless kids, though,
Kids,
that he's putting his arms
That's the
around is
problem.
real fucking tasteless.
Yeah, that's tasteless.
I mean, it is Jeff Ross. Having said that, so and then
Yeah,
by the way,
that's
can
the
you even
front
recognize who's doing like the kind of
no,
The
the
geisha
Keith-
costume?
geisha
yeah.
costume.
No.
that's Tia Mowry.
Tia Moore.
I don't know who that is.
From Tina Tamera, I believe.
Oh.
Right. That's
Tia
her from Tina
Tamera?
Tamera.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was.
Well,
her-
that's
her
how
name.
you do a white face. Like,
Yeah, there you go.
She really did it, you know.
Except she's not doing a white face. She's doing
an
a
Asian-
geisha face.
But is that that's not technically? Is that offensive?
It's in the same ballpark as
you're
dressing up
not-
like a Native American. It's the same general.
Yeah, you're right. Because they're putting face paint on stuff. Yeah, you're
See,
right.
I always do go to, and we can't, by these pictures, it's hard to tell. I always go to, in reality, you'd have to actually know her and be at the party. And is she doing it as a homage or is she making fun of? Because she does seem to go out of her way. It's not
mean,
gimmicky.
she
It's not
good.
cartoonish.
No, she doesn't look like gimmicky at all. She looks like she put, 50 grand into her face and hair.
Yeah, and I would.
And I'm
I
not
would
saying, by the way,
argue-
Scott, I'm not saying I'm not offended yet.
People to see that this is on my phone.
Yeah.
Scott, by the way-
That's the problem.
By the way, Scott, I'm not. You can delete this group message when you're done.
Yeah, we're
But,
gonna have to.
but Scott,
Yeah.
I'm not defending her yet. What I do with you guys is I try to like say little things of why each one could be
Yeah,
a
no
reason.
problem.
Yeah, or no, or
Totally.
okay. I tend to be
Totally.
the person saying why it could be okay.
Yeah, that's
Why I
fair.
wouldn't, because personally, again, to me, seems like she did a lot of work into this. So I don't know.
I'm gonna say the first picture with the two little boys in the towels,
Honestly,
with his arms around him, thumbs up, like looking like a pedophile.
I love Jeff Ross having said
Like,
that, but I
want
get
to know,
what you're saying.
like I was saying to Scott, who or you guys, like, are those interns? Who are those kids? Why did they
Dude,
decide to?
I
do
am
this
sure
with
he
him?
paid them, dude. This
Yeah.
was. I am sure he
The
paid
paid
them. This is
interns.
not.
Well,
And even if they are,
you're
dude,
not
I
an
would have done this. And dude,
Okay, you're right. So
Tyler
a paid
always
employee.
takes this to this weird. Tyler really gets into these
I'm
weird,
just
creepy
saying,
things.
this guy
No,
is. I take
he's
it to
a
a place
dude.
because I feel like people in Hollywood tend to do this shit.
But he's not
And
Hollywood. I wouldn't consider Jeff Ross part of Hollywood personally,
he is
but
part of Hollywood.
yeah, but he's usually slamming Hollywood. I am promise
Yeah.
you, like if this were me, dude, and I was, even if I was an intern, I bet they're paid. But even if I was an intern and I was interning for Jeff Ross and he asked me to be part of a bit, dude, you'd want to be. It'd be like hell, because there's other pictures where they're like doing poses and stuff. I would do it in a second if Jeff Ross asked me to pose.
I would do it as well. I
Yeah.
would do it as well.
I mean, I would
Um,
too, because it's an insane opportunity.
What's a funny
Doesn't
thing? It'd
make
be
this
funny.
picture any less weird.
Yeah.
To me, oh, dude, if I were one of these kids personally, I would have been. I would have been like telling him how. But that's me. I would have been like, how creepy can we make this? I want to make it look fucking like you're really about to fuck me or some shit. Like,
Yeah, but that's right. And I even agree with you.
that's
But
where my mind
because-
would go.
But that's because you're like, oh shit, I'm getting a chance to like do a
Right.
thing with a famous person or whatever.
So they probably saw it like that. So you should, on that level, I think, Tyler, you should probably think that they probably saw it like that.
yeah,
I mean, that's fine if they saw it that way. It doesn't make it any less weird.
Yeah. The thing is,
Like-
the picture itself is viscerally upsetting, and
Yeah,
the
it
way
Yeah,
doesn't-
I get
They
ya.
look uncomfortable. They look like.
Well,
ugh.
hopefully they're doing a good job acting. Hopefully.
yeah.
Yeah, right? Because it also seems like this could just be like, some creepy photo he wanted to take. I mean,
No,
it's
if you
not
go through,
really
there's actually a whole
part of the
series of photos. It was for a photo shoot for a joke.
Yeah.
I mean, so I will say that it wasn't, but again, I'm not saying it. I just tell you, I just try to hear what you guys usually say and try to be the other kind of guy. Because I don't even know if you guys know where I'm going with this because I already know what I'm picking, even though I'm.
The towels.
And if I were to play devil's advocate, I would say like he's technically pushing the right message in that,
That
like
this is not
he's
okay.
making fun of Joe Paterno for
Yeah.
Oh,
supporting.
I'm guarantee you that's what he's doing. By the way, he's not giving an. Oh, compared to Tia, he is not doing an homage to this man. I'm telling you that much right
No,
now.
yeah.
He
He's
is
definitely
making.
joking.
Yes,
The
he is
problem
not
though,
honoring
like,
him.
Like Tyler said, though, like it went so hard that I feel uncomfortable
get it.
with it on my phone.
Yeah.
I
Like,
get it.
That's
get
the
it.
thing is like the joke went so far that it turned around to actually be like where they were trying to be funny offensive and it turned into like kind of
Yeah,
offensive.
I get it.
Yeah.
Like,
And
it
by the
took
way,
360. Just went
all
back
I
to the
said,
beginning.
and I love it, by the way. I think it's hilarious. I love Jeff Ross. I don't have a problem with it. I'm voting for it being more offensive because in the end, I think Tia's is actually really well done.
Yeah.
And I think that, hundreds of kids were molested under this guy's
Yeah.
watch. And so that is offensive in the end. Personally, I don't have a problem with it. I think it's funny. But in these two, I'm going to say
Yeah,
yes.
it doesn't
in my
make
opinion,
what
it is.
you did any better. It's just that is worse.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is
All
weird.
right.
I gotta vote
So
for
we-
Jeff Ross.
Jeff Ross.
Okay, yep, that was all around. Okay, so we're down to we got 8. We are gonna do these. Just gonna go through them. Okay,
Okay.
For the, and you can give a little thought if you want. I'm not saying don't say anything, but for the most part, we're just gonna go through them because
Okay.
these we've discussed. Well, I'll say this: we've already discussed the nature of their costumes. If you want to give comment on who they are facing, why you're picking it, that's one that makes sense, right? We can say why we think one's more offensive than the other.
Yep.
But we've kind of already commented on the actual costume, so we'll let that kind of go. We're gonna go. I'm gonna take it away from Hillary Duff with her because her boyfriend was the Indian, and I'll just go
Okay.
think in your mind Paris Hilton doing slutty Indian because basically it came down to just doing
Okay.
is Native American okay.
Native American.
Sure.
So we'll do Indian costume, celebrity doing an Indian costume versus Prince Harry doing a Nazi costume.
Prince Harry. Yeah, Prince
Prince
Harry.
Harry. Prince
Okay.
Harry.
Okay.
No question. And again, not a costume.
Yeah, if it wasn't on Halloween, it's an outfit.
It's
By the way,
just
I
a
actually
shirt.
believe that Prince Harry was wearing I think it was actually kind of authentic too. If I remember the story, I don't think he was just getting something he got from Party USA or something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I believe
If
it
I
was
remember
like an old
correctly.
Nazi uniform, like an actual Nazi uniform.
Okay, we'll go Snooki for your memory. If you don't remember Snooki on the milk box, hey, lost kid, kind of who So parents might be like, I've lost a kid in my life, that offends me. So parent on the lost, on the milk box.
Oh
God.
This
My
triggers me
child's
crazy.
gone.
Right,
Yeah, I'm gonna make fun of the sadness that I have to live
By
with.
the way, I will say this seriously. I know it would suck if you're a parent and you lost your kid to a kidnapping or something. Obviously, terrible.
Yeah.
But you gotta remember, she's only making fun of kids that were lost. By the way, not like a kid that got hit by a car. She's not talking about that. But
Yeah,
no, but I'm
maybe,
just
maybe the kid got
got
found.
found. Yeah, that's true.
right. So the point is if you've lost a kid at one point to a kidnapping. If you've lost your kid at one point to a kidnapping, I suppose, all of a sudden your kid left one day, you never saw him again, and you're looking to Snooki, and it's you're watching the Jersey Shore, and you're like, Snooki, God damn it. I don't know.
Yeah, you make me think of my lost milk
Right.
carton.
Anyway, so she's going to take on Kylie Jenner in the sexy Eskimo. What's more offensive, the sexy Eskimo or Snooki? And
Say sexy Eskimo.
I know what
I'd
I have
probably
my.
say Snooki. I'd probably say Snooki in that context. Neither
What
one
do
of
you
them are
think, Tyler?
terribly offensive.
I said the Eskimo, sexy Eskimo.
I go with Eskimo. I just don't think the milk cart is
Yeah.
that offensive to me at all.
No,
I don't
honestly,
think either
but-
one of them are really, to be honest.
Yeah, I know. Sexy Eskimo.
Yeah, Eskimo's gonna lose it, but we'll see who comes back in the end.
Yeah, Eskimo versus
we're gonna go Chris Brown as the
face at the end, you know it.
Chris Brown as a terrorist versus the crazy eye blackface. I know my answer. On
That's
this.
a good one.
Yeah.
Those are both bad.
Oh,
I gotta go crazy eye blackface.
Okay,
Crazy eye blackface. Yeah.
I was actually going to go Chris Brown terrorist, and my reasoning I'll tell you is not because not getting into actual political things that Scott knows about what terrorists are and what we think of they are over here. My thing would be as those people over there. It could be very offensive if you're a person living in some of these countries and you're just everybody that looks like me is a terrorist. Now I lost anyway, and the crazy eyes probably should have won, but that was my reason. That would have been my reasoning behind why that could be more offensive, in my
It
opinion.
was a close one to me. It wasn't
Yeah.
an easy decision.
For real.
Okay, so then we got Jeff Ross and his kids, kid thing, and the chain smoke. Now, here's the thing: you guys are. Tyler had such a hang up on the chain smokers and their douchebag faces. Are that enough to upset the kid fucking picture?
No.
Yeah. First of all, it was me that really had a problem with the chain smoker face. I think
Tyler hit it pretty hard too.
Yeah,
I
that's
thought,
true.
but maybe
Yeah, that's true.
Both
Wasn't
of us.
a
Yeah,
fan.
true.
He's too smug.
Still, it's obviously
It's
the other one.
obviously the one with the man in the children.
okay. Jeff Ross, moving on.
Jeff Ross.
Man, this could be Jeff Ross versus a blackface in the end here. Kid fucking versus blackface. What's worse? That's the kind of entertainment you get here on the Two Hippies One Drunk Podcast.
Yeah, toss up,
Yeah.
We're solving the serious life issues here every week.
If you want to know which is worse, pedophilia or racism, like we'll tell you.
We don't know if we're right. We don't know if we're wrong, but we will tell you our opinion.
Okay, Prince Harry dressed as a Nazi on a Tuesday versus versus blackface, essentially.
Oh,
I have to go with the Nazi because also I'm pretty sure. Now that you bring it up, I'm pretty sure it was an authentic Nazi costume, if I remember right, or authentic Nazi outfit.
This is going to be Tyler, because I'm going to tell you, I'm going to use the same argument I said against Chris Brown. I think blackface is offensive, but dude, Nazis killed about 8 million Jews or something. So
who are you going
in
with?
fires, like in shit. Yeah. So I'm going Nazi in the end. By the way, if you remember at the very beginning,
I feel like I have to go Nazi.
Yeah. So
if you remember,
the other ones are harmless. That shit is like, that's a belief.
You know what's funny about this? And this is why I wanted to let you guys know, like, I defended things in a way to just for the show. If you remember, I was like hardcore. You could have thought, based on how I talked at the beginning, I was hardcore trying to get you guys reasons why the Nazi might not even be offensive.
Yeah.
But in the end, I definitely believed it was offensive.
No,
I mean,
it's honestly, the other one, like I said, it's harmless. The Nazi thing is like, some bads there, and you're somebody famous, like supporting that. Like,
it is such the context too, where I'm like, you're not the only one in this family who's dressed up like a Nazi and been photographed doing it. Like,
so does this mean can I do this? I feel like there's not a lot of times, guys, that I can do this in my life. So I'm going to do it because I wanted to be a sports broadcaster as a kid. So I never got to do like something like this. So I can do down goes blackface. Down goes blackface.
Oh, man. You did it.
Honestly.
So we don't really get a say. You said, can I? And then you did it. But yeah.
I'm just saying, I'm in this context, in our context.
Down goes blackface.
Dude, I think that Nazism is a lot worse because that was just my opinion. So now we got, I know who's going to win this.
Takes off with it.
I love that you wanted to say that for a long time.
No. You should know this. I didn't want to say down goes blackface for a while. I just wanted to do like this big upset kind of sports call. Yeah. And
honestly, I thought that he was going to she was going to the end.
The phrase "down goes blackface" is also totally okay to want to say.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
Yeah,
right.
Right.
It should.
Down goes blackface is a great
but I should clarify. Yeah, it wasn't that I had this urge to say "down goes blackface."
I know, just the way you worded it, man.
Well, that's a pretty big up. That's not a big upset, but I mean that's a tough battle.
Honestly,
like,
I thought
Nazi
she
versus
was
blackface.
Definitely making it to the end.
Yeah.
So now we're this. I know this is
a Nazis.
I don't even have to ask because I know Jeff Ross is going to beat the Eskimo. So we're going.
Yeah, the Jeff Ross is beating
pedophilia versus Nazi. Jeff.
Jeff Ross.
I know where I'm going with this.
With that tasteless.
If I'm going just off pictures, it's Jeff Ross. If I'm going off of context, it's Nazis. Yeah. So it's really a toss-up.
Go with the costume, and we're going to the final thing. Let's do the costume.
Okay.
So let's kind of go pick. You can use some context, but use mostly the picture.
If I was at a costume party, God.
Yes, let's do that. You're at a
things are so
I'm leaving that costume party.
I'm fucking not.
Here.
I'm not. I'm just making sure. I'm not. I'm just hoping that I'm wearing a costume that no one knows who I am because I want to see what's going down. I just don't want pictures of me at the party. You know what I'm saying?
Christ. Could you imagine being either one of those people having to hang out at a costume party for hours in a Nazi outfit?
I know.
Or with two shirtless children you've got your arms around.
God,
okay, so let's so Prince Harry as a Nazi, Jeff Ross as Joe Paterno with two boys. That essentially is saying that he was allowing pedophilia under his watch.
Full instinct and just going Jeff Ross. I know that Nazis are terrible, but that fucking image, if I saw a man in that context walking around a party with two little boys, like I'd be like, the Nazi guy's a dick. But
you should wait. I should clarify. These aren't little boys that he's got. They're very clearly 18 and up kid. Like, and I will say that none of the kids that were molested were. They're not little boys, dude. I'm sure they are of age. I didn't have hair. I don't have hair on my chest now almost.
They got masks on.
I still would say like, okay, if I were at a Halloween party, I'd be like, we need to kick this Nazi guy out of the party.
Yeah.
I would be like, we need to maybe call the police on this.
There you go.
Other
Yeah,
guy.
Jeff Ross.
I'm still going Nazi though. I'm still,
Yeah,
I
okay, fair
can't
enough.
like, it's fucking, yeah.
Didn't yeah.
The member of the
What do you say,
royal
Tyler?
family dressed
I was
like it.
I think that, like I said, I think just the visceralness of the picture, it's gonna be Rick Ross and the
God, that means I gotta
Rick
make this
Ross.
call.
Rick Ross, Jeff Ross.
It's a very different person.
Yeah, Rick Ross. Anyway,
I gotta
yeah,
make the
Jeff-
call here then, huh?
Yes, you do.
I'm gonna go. Okay, if I'm at a party and these two people are there, who am I more offended by? I'm gonna go Nazi. I just Nazis
Yeah.
really bad
I was
people.
gonna say, didn't
They're
Nazis
bad
win
dudes.
The douchebag bracket too.
Yeah, they certainly. Well, those are
I
different
think
douche.
the Nazis won.
I don't think we had Nazis in the douchebag.
No, there was a not. No, douchebag bracket. Douchebag brackets were like guy going slow in the fast lane and stuff like that. They weren't like.
I thought that they were one of the. They were
All
in the
right, so
running.
Prince Harry, if you're watching Prince Harry, we've decided all these people.
You were the worst.
You were worse than. You were worse
Yeah.
than this dude who dressed up as a guy who let got kids get fucked
The
under
only guy
him
on the
and
list that wasn't wearing a
blackface and.
costume. He was just living his life,
Yeah.
just hanging out in Vegas with his Nazi outfit.
That was fun. That was fun. That's what we got. That's what we got for the tournament. So that was fun.
Oh yeah.
So Nazis
Who's going
win.
next week?
That would be
That'd
me.
Scott. Scott.
What are we? What we got coming up
Yeah,
next
yeah.
week?
Okay. Yeah. So been going hard with the Magic stuff lately. Figured I would take a break from that and do something a little bit lighter. I wanted to do an episode on some of the best rap beefs.
Oh yeah, that
Nice,
sounds
nice.
awesome. Honestly,
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah, that
super
sounds-
excited. There are good ones, dude.
Yeah.
And you know what's
And I'm
funny?
sure
I
you
don't know.
so many more than either of us.
Right. I know about probably only the very known ones. I bet you'll have
Yeah.
ones that I've never heard of. And even the known ones, I don't know too much about other than very basic knowledge.
There's
So
like one or two that I know about. but
Yeah.
like Tupac and Biggie.
Yeah,
and, stuff, but, like,
and there's and I've already thought about we're not going to be doing Tupac and Biggie because there's
That's
been
a
a
whole-
million.
Yeah,
people
yeah,
that
yeah.
have
And that's
that
a lot
so
of
much
stuff.
better. I just, for the sake of saying it, because I just don't know if you guys know it. The one thing that to me is more insane than anything else about the Tupac versus Biggie thing is that Tupac fucked Biggie's wife and made a diss track about it,
yeah,
I didn't actually know that. But
from you, but
which
yes,
is
I
insane.
did. That is wild.
that's fucking that's fucked
But
up.
yeah, so we're doing rap
Okay,
beefs next
sweet.
week.
Woot woot.
So this is Two Hippies, One Drunk. We do this every Wednesday. Usually around 6 o'clock. Sometimes it changes based on just if we have stuff going on, but usually around 6 o'clock. Thanks so much, dude. We mentioned at the top of the show, but the numbers have been going up and more people are listening and commenting on our stuff. And stuff like that, by the way, too. If you follow us on Facebook or YouTube, if you make comments on videos or share the videos or a post, whatnot, like that really helps. But it's going great, and we all appreciate you guys listening like you do. And
Thank you for all the support.
Tyler and Scott there. Do you want to say anything? I guess we didn't do final thoughts this time, but I think we kind of gave our final thoughts based on the final thought of who won.
Just to reiterate what you were saying, and thank you for all the support. Honestly, it has been growing. The only thing that you could do to help us is share our stuff and tell your friends, and like our content. And you have been doing that. We just do it more. Thank you.
Yeah,
All right. See ya.
do it more, he says.
Do it more.
Right. You have been, but more.
Yeah.
Do
listen to
better, people. Do
Yeah.
better.
Your podcast overlords have told you. Do it more.